Obama has urged Russia to break away from a Cold War approach to relations ahead of his first visit to Moscow in a few days' time. A new strategic arms reduction deal is expected to be the key issue during talks, and RT's Alena Minkowski reports from Washington, D.C. on this.
Negotiating a new START treaty and really bringing down the number of nuclear weapons is one of the main things that they're going to cover in Moscow. But we have to think President Obama and Medvedev are going to have 4 hours to talk to each other. So there's a lot of other issues on the table. And a really interesting point is that now they're really focusing on what's mutually beneficial for both countries. Instead of just focusing on what's good for one and not the other, they really want to work together.
The U.S. is not seeking an antagonistic relationship, but wants cooperation on nuclear nonproliferation, fighting terrorism, energy issues that will end up having a stronger partner overall in this process.
Now, what's interesting is a little statement that the U.S. president threw in about Russian Prime Minister Vladimir Putin. A bit of a negative tone there, a bit of a jab. Let's take a little listen to what it was.
Prime Minister Putin still has a lot of sway in Russia, and I think that it's important that even as we move forward with President Medvedev, that Putin understands that the old Cold War approaches to U.S.-Russian relations is outdated.
The U.S. media is also taking their own spin on this story. They're kind of focusing on the negatives. There's been a lot in the media about this statement about Vladimir Putin that Obama made, and also other outlets, especially the Wall Street Journal, saying that the U.S. is really going to take a hard stance, especially when it comes to the missile defense systems. They're saying that they're not going to back down. This isn't going to be on the negotiating table, but they will be open to the idea of possibly using Russian soil to do this, which was an option that was given to them earlier. So while both President Obama and President Medvedev, who earlier in his blog today was saying that he was very optimistic and looking forward to this, seemed to be on a good note, very optimistic about it, the U.S. media is doing quite the opposite.
Along with nuclear arms reduction, the controversial U.S. defense missile shield for Europe will also be on the agenda. U.S. columnist Craig Roberts believes Washington does expect concessions from Moscow.
I don't think that Obama will take away the missile bases that he wants to put in Poland, the radar that he wants to put in Czechoslovakia, or that he will retreat from trying to put Georgia and Ukraine into NATO. So whatever happens for good relations will have to come from Moscow's concessions to